another half-loaded episode of Get a Load of This. From the Silver Creek Studios, I'm Jarod.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Dave.
Once again with us, Dave is here.
I love his I'm Dave.
I'm Dave.
After this story I just heard, I may not be here very long.
Yeah. I don't even know. We're talking about manscaping and back hair and all kinds of...
Most men deal with it in some way or another. And the youngsters today, they're all talking about it, They're more open about it than we ever were. I mean, no, our parents, our dads or grandfathers never talked about shaving their balls. Oh, that's a good story we should talk about. I have to look it up before I get into it. But yeah, I mean, no one used to talk about grooming bodily hair.
For sure, definitely.
I think back then it was kind of cool to be pretty.
I
think
wanted to braid that
the amount
shit.
of hair sort of had a hierarchy status.
Right.
If you could braid your toe hair, you were in a different level.
It was manlier to be hairier.
Yeah. No, there was a story.
And then it was gross.
I think it was Dave Rubin. Man. But he said something, or maybe it was Shapiro. So the story was that a whatever they call a person that waxes people, a body waxer person, declined service to a trans individual, Canadian, I believe. It was in Canada. So this young individual, I don't know if it's young, this trans person, it was a male transitioning to a woman, goes into a spa to get a Brazilian. And I think they made the appointment over the phone, so the person making the appointment couldn't tell, didn't know, thought it was a woman, because that's how they presented themselves over the phone.
Okay. Was the person at the business, were they a man or a woman? So
it was a woman that was scheduled to do...
It doesn't matter, really, but I just... I wonder in context.
It kind of does, but you're right, it doesn't. So, anyway, this individual, the customer, showed up for the services, and the clinician declined service and said, I can't do this. Now this person's now suing. Now they're known, their names on a lot of legal documents, and they're litigious people. And this person, who's again a man transitioning to a woman, has a cock and balls. And walks into a body waxing spa and says, I'm here for my Brazilian, goes into the joint, goes into the room. This young clinician sees what equipment she's dealing with and says, I'm not.
Well, do you think the clinician was thought, oh, this is going to get pervy or something?
No, well, what the reality is that she wasn't trained to do for a man. It's a different technique. It's a different. So
she was like, "This is out of my wheelhouse."
Yeah, she's like, "I can't do that. I can wax."
And she made that, and that lady made it apparent. Like she was like, "This is why."
Yeah, this is part of
the
the problem.
See, this is where it's like all the nuance.
That different.
What?
Well, yeah, man, you got a fucking twig and berries down there as opposed to.
Well, but that's not what a Brazilian would be, is it?
Sure, yeah, it's waxing the whole fucking thing. Taint
I guess I just figured it was
everything, man.
It was the backside.
Gone. They actually call
the backside's pretty much the same, I think.
Well, yeah, from the butthole, yeah, sure, but yeah, I mean, there's a dude. Come on.
I'm saying the Brazilian doesn't include the twig and berries.
Sure, it does.
Okay.
It's I
don't know.
It's a whole
I
shooting
never
match.
Signed up for
and
one.
And actually, whenever it's twig and berries, it's called a Brazilian, from what my understanding, at least.
Interesting.
I've become quite educated on this subject.
All right.
Well,
I didn't know that it was included all that. I just figured it was the backside.
You have a tight relationship with your clinician.
Basically, you're going bald. Either if you're Brazilian or Brazilian, you're not a hair.
Okay.
Nary a hair in sight.
All right. So is this person now being prosecuted or whatever? And
so the clinician is being sued, I think, or the spa is being sued by this litigious individual with unreasonable expectations.
Right.
And it's become a thing. And so I think there's some people banned on Twitter for whatever, not dead naming, but using the wrong gender to describe this person. And that's why it became a thing. That's why it became a story. That's why it showed up on my Twitter, because someone tweeted and said, this is fucking ridiculous.
Right.
And it is.
And so when do you think it went left? Like it just totally went off the rails?
I think it went off the rails as soon as that person walked into as soon as they called the studio and said, because whatever, they were trying to, they were setting it all.
So the question would be, if a guy called up and said, I need a Brazilian, schedule me for 2:30,
I'm a man.
Would this woman have done that?
Yeah, she probably would have declined service then. She's like, I can't do that.
Well, I mean, logically, she should have, because she doesn't know how to do men, right?
If that's
she
really the case.
She doesn't have to deal with that equipment, right?
With this
if that's true. Or did she just not want to deal with whatever trans things?
The more important question is, like, who the fuck would want to do that? That sounds miserable, right? I mean, waxing your I mean, look, I've had my eyebrows, because I have almost a unibrow thing going here, and I've had that waxed. That hurts like a motherfucker. I can't imagine on the Twig and Berries how that would
Remember that
feel.
scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Right. I cried.
I just watched that recently with our daughter. It totally holds up.
And it's real. Like
totally,
they really
that was really
waxed
real.
his chest, and it's really bleeding.
Oh my god!
And the
clinician
is really laughing at him.
That
is
great. It is awesome.
So that's the kind of insanity though that we're dealing with out there.
And this person's probably gonna lose their job, have to pay a fine.
When I hear a story like that, I kind of feel like, well, I'm not hearing everything.
Yeah,
I'm
I
hearing.
agree.
Hearing sort of like the Cliff Notes version of this.
Sure.
And so, whose Cliff Notes version am I hearing? And that's why I kind of like, well, at least we could say, well, when did it go off the rails, right?
Right.
So you definitely can say it went off the rails when somebody started talking a lawsuit.
Yeah.
You know.
So let's look on the other side. Should this person who is transgendered be able to walk into a salon and ask for a wax and have this person respond in no kind of shocking way or anything? Just be like, all right, yeah, let's do this. Like, why should that be a thing that they freak out and say, I'm not doing that?
I don't know what I've never waxed anybody, but I would imagine there are certain concerns, right? I mean, it's a different. Man, look, we all got a sack here. There, and most people listening have at least seen a sack. It's a different type of skin.
Okay, but is that the deal that this lady was like, look, I'm not trained in that.
Yeah.
There's an issue with
exactly her
or was
her
it like,
claim.
I'm not doing that. I'm walking out. No.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, there's a lot of nuance that we just don't know.
Her claim, as far as I could tell from reading, is that she's not trained to do that on men.
That sounds legit.
If that's her reason and that's what she explained to this customer, then he wouldn't sue.
But unless they're an insane person.
If she said, I'm not trained at this,
unless
their
objective was to just create a lawsuit at all costs.
That's why I'm assuming she walked out of the room in an anxious manner and was like, nope, not doing this. I'm going home, and he was like,
I'm not assuming anything because I just feel like there's a lot of information that's not clarified.
But that's what I'm saying. You almost have to assume, based on the fact that this person is suing, that they were likely treated that way, as opposed to like she politely explained that she doesn't know how to do this. The person who does isn't here today. If you'd like to come back tomorrow, that's probably not how it went down. If this person is suing.
Well, we don't know, right?
We don't.
So I mean, it's like moot point to even try to say how it probably or probably didn't, and that's kind of weird because they're using that example to get a point across, whether it was on Shapiro or Dave Rubin,
right?
And I feel like it's like, well, I mean, give us a detail, unpack this in a detailed manner so that we can.
And that's unfortunately, I think what you get with news now is the reporter doesn't even want to do the legwork to really get to the bottom.
Right.
Ian Miles Chong, who is a blue checkmark Twitter @StillGray, tweeted this: state-enforced sexual assault. A trans Canadian, Jessica Yaniv, is accusing 15 women of discrimination for refusing to wax her genitalia. The state, Canadian province, is threatening to deprive women of body autonomy in the name of wokeness. And he my latest for @human-events. So Dave Rubin catches wind of this and he comments on it. He says, "Oh fuck." So Conway Twitty. No. So Twitter banned Lindsay Shepherd, who I'm not sure who that is, but banned this Lindsay Shepherd for discussing this case of a woman wanting her balls waxed. Am I understanding this correctly? ? And then he says, before I get banned by the Ministry of Truth, note, I am using this person's preferred gender pronoun while also acknowledging biological sex. So Dave's in the right. He's like, look, I'm calling this person a woman. That's what they want to be identified as. But I'm also calling out that they are biologically speaking a male. They have male genitalia. And he has not been banned as far as I know at this point. But so then I Googled Jessica Yaniv, this individual who's suing the spa. There's plenty of stories out there. I encourage you to go Google that
I'm
name.
just like, why is this a point of discussion?
They're a social justice warrior. They're out there trying to push the envelope. They're trying to create havoc.
So, and we talked about this before, these are fringe. For the most part, I think people say these are fringe cases, extreme, whether it's Nazis or progressive leftists. Just don't entertain it. Don't feed that fire.
Right.
I mean, I have nothing against
but it's so salacious. Me neither.
If my daughter decided she wanted to be, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, I mean, I don't have a problem
But
with
what
that.
if it was an egregious denial of service? Like, nope, we don't treat your kind here. If it was that versus, I'm not trained
I guess
in that, I'm sorry.
you have to sit and just think about it.
Right.
As a person, you go, well, what is this? How do I feel about this? Maybe talk to a friend. What do you think I should do?
Right.
But I mean,
I'm just saying, as a consumer of the news, if it was one scenario, you would absolutely react to it. And if it's the other, you'd be like, whatever, no big deal. So if you don't know and your instant reaction is to blow it off and be like, I don't care. Well, maybe you should care. If
you
it
mean
was,
you mean as a bystander, as like a person who's reading the news,
yes,
like
correct.
he did?
That's what I'm saying. So there would be one circumstance where it's like, you should be upset about this. We should enact change in society if someone is belittling and demeaning this other person. But if that's not what happened, then it should just go away. So that's the issue, is the news itself didn't report it accurately. And so we don't know how to react.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables there.
Right. But your instant reaction shouldn't just be to let it go, because maybe it should be, a problem.
I mean, is it hard? I guess I don't know the community that well, but is it hard to be transsexual these days?
No, I think you just have to put on the wrong.
No, I mean, do you? I mean,
I bet there's
in
still
Waterloo,
a lot of difficulty,
or Red Bud, or
I mean, look, there's an example of that in our kids' school where there was a transgender and young person,
right?
So I would say it's not hard. I think most people are accepting and willing to be like, okay, all right, well, we can work with this.
And some people just aren't. And some people are
certainly some people aren't. But by and large, I think most people are like, all right,
you got to learn to roll with it.
Yeah, we're gonna make this work. Now those people, the 80%, 90% of people are going to be reasonable and be like, all right, we're going to work with this. The person who is the subject, right, the transgender person, needs to also have that same level of maturity, flexibility and maturity to say, like, I understand I'm not normal's not the right word, but I'm not normal, that I am an outlier, and that people have to make concessions. People have to make adjustments to accommodate for my outside the normalities, right? So, and unfortunately, I think that there's too many that don't that want everybody to be like.
How do you quantify that, though? I mean, what are these adjustments going to be? What are these?
Well, so let's bathroom talk. So what bathroom do you use, right?
I use whatever bathroom's free.
Right.
I gotta go.
Right.
I didn't ask you if that's the boys' bathroom or the girls' bathroom.
And it's great if it's a one-holer, right? We talked about this a little bit, didn't we? But if it's a one-hole bathroom, it's no big deal, right? Anybody can walk in.
Some people get upset when they see a transgender bathroom. Like I know I've heard people in my presence be in my office, that's not right.
In my office, there's a trans. It's not called transgender bathroom.
It's like
unisex.
It's a unisex bathroom, and it's.
But
it's
is it a single stall kind of thing?
Yeah,
okay, that's the difference.
Right.
If you've got a 8-stall, kind of bathroom, and you're expecting both sexes to go in there at the same time.
I've never been in a bathroom.
I've never seen a bathroom.
Multiple stalls and transgender.
Yeah, right.
I've never seen one
and
like
if
that.
I did,
but there's a reason for that, right?
Right. I mean, I guess, yeah.
Let me read you guys this. This is the same Jessica Yaniv, again, Canadian person. So the headline says, trans woman in genital waxing case applies for permit to host semi-nude public pool party with children. This is
what?
Yep. This is dated yesterday. So I'm going to read you the application. This is from the...
Why is there an application process for that?
Yeah, I don't know. But this is from the Township of Langley in Canada. It is dated yesterday. And it says permission... Permission for LGBTQ25 organization to be allowed to host an all-bodies swim, in quotations, at Township of Langley civic pools, and then it lists the pools, for people aged 12 and up, where these events will be restricted to LGBTQ25 and individuals will be permitted to be topless at their leisure, in parentheses, in compliance with the laws of Canada, and where parents are and caretakers will be prohibited from attending these events as it's considered safe and inclusive. So, this Jessica Yaniv applies for this pool party with 12 and up.
This is the same person we're talking about.
Same person
Okay.
that's suing for not getting their balls waxed.
Right. So we're starting to see a pattern.
Right.
They're pushing the envelope. Now, look.
I mean, they're fishing.
No,
they're not
I will
pushing
say,
the envelope.
I'm not
they're
trying,
looking for it.
I'm not
Sure.
questioning his/her sexual beliefs. I think that there's an agenda. It seems as
But
though there's
in
a
this
pattern.
case,
There's an agenda.
They want to have a party where people can be topless.
Yes.
With
And that's-
anybody 12 years or
Individual. They don't say males or females because that would not be inclusive. They
Sure.
say individuals 12 years
whatever.
and up can be topless at their discretion, and that parents, the most important thing there
Yeah, that was
is
a little
that
odd.
parents
Parents
and
are not
caretakers
welcome or not
are
allowed.
not allowed to be
Yeah,
there,
that's a little
as
weird.
this is assumed to be inclusive.
So this sounds super weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, obviously, but I mean, it sounds really bizarre. Like what? Like,
So
Right.
it does, I admit, especially
What's
when you
the
say
source?
parents aren't allowed. But we're way too hung up on sexuality and sex anyway, and nudity and all that. Like,
Right.
we've had this discussion before a long time ago, where people have a problem with their kids watching a movie that has nudity,
Right.
but they don't have a problem with someone's brains getting blown out or
Right,
whatever
right.
violence on screen. And it's like, that's completely fucked up. Like, that's
Right.
the exact opposite of what our reaction should be. But for whatever reason, people freak out when there's nudity. Not even genitalia, like just breasts.
Yeah. So here's the source. You asked the source. It's Daily Caller, which is Ben Shapiro's site. It says here, Jessica Yaniv has a history of making inappropriate remarks regarding young girls and faces allegations of predatory behavior towards girls online. It is unclear if Yaniv will attend the swims. When a Twitter user asked Yaniv about the topless pool party, Yaniv responded, "What's the problem with 12-year-old topless girls?" Now, this is a man talking. This is a biological male speaking. What's the problem with 12-year-old topless girls? Let them be themselves. The following tweets have now been deleted. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. There's an article on dailycaller.com.
See the issue there. I wasn't even thinking about that when I was just ranting. When you're saying that 12-year-olds would be potentially topless, I guess that's a problem.
I don't see a situation in any respect where there should be children that are not clothed properly.
Right. So just take all of the transgender, transsexual stuff out of it. Just take it all out of it.
Right.
And let's just talk about the binary of male versus female. Male genitalia, female XXXY chromosomes, right? We have someone with an XY chromosome, a penis, and it's a male, biological male, and they are applying for a pool party with young females. Yeah. And when asked why, their answer is, "What's the problem?"
Yeah,
that's a deviant behavior.
To me, it's either way, whether it's male or female, whether it's kids that are boys or girls. I'm like, what is going on here? Why are there?
Well, what if you
look? There's social norms. There's and there's nothing wrong with social norms.
Where is that social norm? Like, where?
Well, there's not there.
Yeah,
he's outside of the norms.
Would you have a problem with the adults, only the adults being topless? If kids were there that could see topless adults, would that be a problem?
Look, I mean, there's nudist colonies out there that do that stuff already.
And that's where I'm getting at with like if I don't think it should be a problem that you allow kids to see sexuality on TV.
There's tribes.
But then it's a different matter to say.
There's tribes in sub-Saharan Africa where they've never worn, they wear loincloths, and the women have their breasts exposed, 24/7, and that. So no,
but I guess what I'm
I
saying
don't have a problem. If that's the society, if that's the social norms that they're bringing their children up in, who am I to judge? Who am I to say that's wrong?
But by my own definition of that, I said sexuality, and I think that should be okay, but at the same time, you should not be having adults seeing underage people in a sexual way. Like, that is wrong.
You're leaving minors vulnerable.
Right.
Yeah.
To all kinds of things that you may not even be aware of.
Yeah.
And this all still sounds real weird. Like, I mean, obviously, but
that's why it's like trending or whatever on Twitter.
And I think that's the problem. Like, it shouldn't be trending. Like, it should just be, we all should be above it and just be like, fuck that. You know what I mean?
But if we do say fuck that, no, I'm with you, Dave.
I'm not saying fuck.
I'm with you. But if we all turn a blind eye to it, then
does it die out? Does it just smolder out?
Maybe it does. Or maybe Jessica Yaniv is allowed to have this pool party.
Right.
And a bunch of young girls are molested.
Well, okay. Why are you able to get a permit for something like that? Like, what is going on there? That doesn't even sound
There's some
real
weird
to me.
Canadian shit going on there.
Canada is pretty crazy, but is it that crazy? Is it like Thailand crazy? Or,
I don't know.
I don't even know who's crazy like that.
Yeah.
Like, I've never really heard of that before. It just seems really like...
Well, I think that there's a large group of people out there. I don't think it's not a large percentage of the population, but there's a large group of people out there that are like this individual, and they're finding ways...
I would agree with
push
that.
Buttons. They are poking the bear every chance they get. The social justice warriors are out there saying, "All right, how do I fuck with society today? How can I bend people's minds? I'm gonna pierce my dick and run through fucking town square, and scream, I love Satan." And
if everybody was like whatever and turned their back, then the person would be like, "Shit,
right? You completely disarm
do
them.
anything,
right? Yeah." But unfortunately,
you would get to do it as often as you want.
But what would be the point if nobody's watching, right?
But someone's watching. That's the thing. The people who are watching are the people who are intrigued or interested or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Google's watching.
I mean, that's the danger, and I agree with you. If you just ignore it, it'll go away. Like, the attention that they're trying to get won't be there.
I wish that was the case.
I guess what I'm saying is, I'm not saying just ignore stuff. I'm just saying don't give it the attention that it does not deserve.
Right.
Yeah, but that's that risk of, like, you just blow it off, and then they get they get to keep doing what they want.
Honestly,
the next thing you know,
it's impossible. In a utopian society, that'd be great. But it's the same argument that we make about baseball. Like, baseball players or football players getting overpaid. It's like, well, or charging too much for a beer at a ballpark. Well, boycott. Well, it would take everybody, and that's hard to do because there's some diehard people that love baseball. There's people, as much as we all know it's wrong, there's always going to be the few people, the TMZers out there that be like, look at that, that's fucked up. So,
well, if you get the majority of your baseball people to go, the beer is too expensive. We're not going to the park until you lower the prices. Guess what? They lower those prices.
Right, but it's really hard to get those people to organize, right?
Right.
I love how you picked up on my transition there. It's just like, if you get those baseball people,
any people, it doesn't matter who, but it'd be if you.
But that's the
I'm
problem.
Just saying the
it doesn't
attendees
take
is
that
what I
many
mean.
people to keep doing it at the price it's at before the
That's
stadium's
true.
like, well, fuck all those people who don't want to pay it. That's what they've done now. There's
they're
plenty
like,
of people
they want
who
beer,
don't want
and
to pay
we got the beer, and they're going to pay whatever we
There's
charge.
plenty of people who don't want to pay $10 for a beer, and they don't go. But guess what? There's plenty of people who don't mind.
Right.
This fucking podcast is amazing. We're talking about a swim party for 12 plus topless 12-year-old girls, and we just turn it into beer.
I'm not talking about that.
And we just turn it into beer prices.
I'm not even giving
that
that my
Dave's
attention.
not comfortable.
without even batting an eye.
Now we're talking about
That sounds like
ballpark
total
prices.
crazy talk.
How pissed are we about nacho
I'm not
prices?
talking about wizards right now either. I'm not talking about sorcerers. I'm not talking about... I'd be more inclined to talk about aliens. I'd be happy to talk
Aliens
about.
Would be awesome. What about Area 51? But
Did you see
are we all storming Area 51? Are you guys signed up for that?
What's that?
Storming Area 51? You hear about that?
No.
Well, you're not on Facebook. You wouldn't have.
I know. I really do miss a lot.
Yeah, I'm not on Facebook either, but I heard about this. What? So, Jarod had to pee.
Yeah, I fucked us.
Yeah, so Jarod just shut the fucking thing down. Now we were talking about Area 51, I think, or whatever. But while I peed, and then I come back, and Jarod had to pee, and then what else do we have to do?
The bottles were clinking,
which are still rattling. So Jarod is being a podcast Nazi here.
I told Ryan if it was just that I had to pee, I would have waited. If it was just the bottles, I would have waited.
But now it's been a good 15 minutes since we were talking about Area 51. Fuck Area 51. Now we're talking about guitars. What I've learned here is that Dave was within 5 feet of Willie Nelson's guitar, also known as Trigger, which is unbelievable to me, and it's a great story. And we don't need to go through it again. But the fact that you've been in the presence of that greatness, it made me think: what are the most famous guitars in the world? I mean, you have Trigger, Lucille, B.B. King's guitar,
Stevie's. Number one, Stevie Ray Vaughan. That would be a very.
Does it have a name? Or is it just called
I think
they
just called it number one. It's like the sunburst one with his initials.
Yeah. But are there? I mean, how many guitars are there?
Eric Clapton, Blackie, right?
Eric Clapton's Blackie, probably Jimmy Page's 59, Les Paul. I mean, that's kind of a hard question to quantize because
there's so many famous ones that maybe don't have a name. You know,
right.
Yeah.
But like Lucille and Trigger are probably the two most prominent.
They're very far up on the list. They're pretty high up.
This idiot knows about it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't mean you're an idiot, but I mean, if somebody who doesn't play guitar is like, oh, yeah, I know what that is, totally. You know, we're like Hendrix played lots of Strats, destroyed quite a few of them.
Right.
You know, so
didn't have a name for any of them, though.
He's iconic with that type of guitar, but not so much any particular guitar. Rory Gallagher was synonymous.
Who was the most famous to play the Flying V? It was
Michael Schenker.
No, I thought there was someone that was
Randy Rhoads.
Yeah.
Randy Rhoads was very popular with the polka dot jacket.
Lenny Kravitz played a V.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, now we're all over the place. But Lenny Kravitz, you were talking about Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've
gotten a little bit of feedback on that. The fact that you said you didn't like her, I don't know that I listened. You say you don't like. She's not a singer, really, is she?
She's an actress.
She's an actress, but also singer. I said singer, but
yeah. Well,
it is Zoe Kravitz. I put her name in the. Comments,
you pissed some people off on that one. That you don't like her.
She's some goddess? What the hell?
Yes, apparently. Well, she's the daughter of Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz.
I like Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz is, damn near a, rock god. He's
pretty rad.
Doesn't make his kid anything special. She was in what?
But then also having her mother being Lisa Bonet, which is pretty spectacular, right?
I mean, all right.
So, yeah.
So the show that she's on HBO.
Zoe Kravitz?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
I got nothing.
Was it called Big Lies or Big Little Lies?
Oh, yeah.
Little Big Lies? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I have seen that. Yeah.
My wife and I watch that, even though I don't know the name of it. But I know everybody. I mean, it's got Meryl Streep in it. It's got Nicole Kidman.
Wow.
Reese Witherspoon.
Laura Dern, who's with Neil Young now.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, totally.
Laura Dern is with Neil Young.
I think they're married.
Wow.
It's
a crazy world.
Witherspoon, you said?
Reese Witherspoon.
Witherspoon. I mean, she's carrying her load with A-list women actresses.
She's amazing.
So I'm not saying she's amazing. I'm just saying I think if you're a schlup,
the level of feedback that I got from two people specifically that were like, fuck Jarod and his hatred of Zoe Kravitz.
I didn't say hate her. I was just like, I don't like her. Partly because she's in that fucking commercial. I hate that commercial.
Yeah. What commercial is it?
The Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, where she does the whole.
I did see you guys drink it, and you convinced me not to ever want to try it.
See, he acts like he doesn't like this ASMR shit. This whole weird.
Yeah, I know
stuff.
what it is.
But he likes it. He's
I
secret.
don't like it.
Yeah,
it's so
you do.
I make fun of it.
Isn't your kid into it?
No,
she's worse.
Oh yeah, that's
God.
right. She's opposite. I forgot. My kid's kind of into it. She says she's not, but she is.
Yeah.
My
daughter would
Doritos.
violently kill someone if they tried to pull some ASMR.
I'm waiting
shit
for
on
her to outgrow that.
I don't know.
You think it'll happen?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think
My
so.
wife hasn't outgrown
I
it
don't
either.
think so.
Does she? Oh, I didn't know
My
that.
wife
Yeah.
too. Both
Really?
of them.
But
Oh,
not
yeah.
to the degree of my daughter. But
No. She can be in a room, but like if I'm like, I can't eat almonds in the room with her. Like she's like, you gotta get out of the room
Jesus.
with that. Like I get it. Like I mean, stuff bothers.
So what if there was
know?
something that bothered you about her? Like I don't know,
nothing.
just nagging.
Nothing bothers me.
right.
Okay, but let's assume
Hi,
that there's
honey.
something that bothered you. If you were to say you're gonna have to get out of the room with that. Like my wife hates me snoring, right? And so she beats
so my
the
wife
shit out
does
of
too,
me.
and she. Well, I just don't sleep on my like. I can't even. I don't want to say it like that. I can't even sleep on my back, but I don't. If I sleep on my back, I will snore, and that will keep her from sleeping.
And so she'll beat you, and you'll.
So
turn
when I
over.
look at that in that context, I go, I get it. You need sleep. You work with sleep or lack of sleep poorly more so than
Okay.
I do.
Well, my point is
I
that,
try to be real rational.
right is that if my wife were to come to me and say like, oh, you're eating Doritos, you're gonna have to leave.
I would never eat Doritos.
Well,
I might eat Doritos.
I know almonds. Fine. Can they be wasabi coated almonds?
Sure, I don't care.
Okay, yeah. 'Cause
I like almonds and blueberries. Like I think it's a great snack.
really together.
Like if you like peanut butter and jelly, which I kind of grew up. I have this theory about
yeah.
peanut butter and jelly, and especially with kids our age. There are two camps of families. There are SpaghettiOs people, and there are peanut butter and jelly people, and you always will fall into one of those two.
Interesting.
Oh, I'm both. I've broken your theory.
You're not supposed to cross the streams, Ray. I don't know what.
I just did.
So you're saying as a kid you ate both?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I had both, but I mean, I would never go for the SpaghettiOs over peanut butter and jelly. Is what I'm saying.
Oh,
so
no,
there would be a dominant one. In
So
your,
I think I get what you're saying. There's sweet and savory people. There's people that love sweet stuff, and there's people that love savory
peanut butter and
stuff.
jelly is sort of sweet and savory all in
Right,
one.
but it's more sweet than
And
anything,
really,
right?
SpaghettiOs,
especially if you're
sweet
eating like
and savory in a sort of weird way too.
yeah, very, very fair point. Yeah. What about mini raviolis, like Chef Boyardee mini raviolis? Those are pretty tasty.
I personally would go for that over SpaghettiOs,
Yeah.
but to me it's the same. But I mean,
SpaghettiOs with meatballs or without meatballs?
Oh, it's got to be meatballs.
The more
With the meatballs?
meat, the better.
I agree.
See, I wasn't a SpaghettiOs guy until adulthood. As a
Really?
kid, I bet I maybe had them once.
You
Wow.
still eat it?
I would, yeah, I totally do.
I would
still.
definitely eat
Dude,
SpaghettiOs
so
today
You
too.
need a palate cleanser. You need to totally
Hey, you wanna know
reevaluate
what?
your diet.
This probably
I don't
should-
disagree.
This shouldn't be on the podcast, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay.
So today was Tuesday.
Yes.
In some worlds or realms, it's Taco Tuesday.
I had
And,
tacos Sunday.
My wife was responsible for our nephews and nieces who were in town this
I know
week,
them well.
including your daughter.
Including my daughter,
And
who has not
they-
the best eating habits.
they
at
mentioned
times.
Taco Tuesday, and so my wife was kind of planning, like, we should make some tacos. Maybe I could make a taco salad.
They
What
went
if-
to Taco Bell.
And she said, what if I made a chalupa? And one of our nieces, not your daughter, said, I've never had a chalupa from Taco Bell. And my wife was like,
Not my daughter.
seriously? And then your daughter said, I've only had Taco Bell with you guys. My parents have never given me Taco Bell. So that was
That's
like
right.
the green light right there for my wife was like, that's it.
We're going to
to Taco Bell.
And we expect it. That's cool.
And your daughter loves Taco Bell.
I'm sure
the
she
only
does.
time she's had it was the one time with us. And
well,
now
now twice.
Now twice.
Yeah.
And our other niece
And she'll hound
finally
me
got
about
a
it.
chalupa, a nacho cheese chalupa. And you deprive your
the fuck
kid.
is a chalupa?
It's the, like...
Is
it's
it
a-
taco?
But it's
It's
the
all-
fried
it's all the
shell.
same
so
With the
garbage.
thicker taco
thicker shell, but
okay.
it's fried and
Yeah.
crispy.
What's a
and
nacho
Different
cheese?
vessel, same
It has
garbage.
nacho cheese on it.
Just okay.
So good.
Different vessel. Say that is the new tagline. Used to be
Different
think outside
vessel,
the
same
bun.
garbage.
Now it's different vessel, same garbage. Taco Bell. Make a run for the border.
Get a load of this. Season 3. Different vessel, same garbage.
It does transcend well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. We,
Well,
we got a
I mean,
t-shirt business
hats off
here.
to her. She needs to live little
You know, she
in those
does.
respects, and that I have no problem with that. But if she thinks that we're going to start getting Taco Bell, she's out of her mind.
know.
First of all, we live
Because
in a
it's
city.
been like 3 years
Do you
since
know
we
how
took her to
many
Taco
awesome
Bell last
restaurants there are in that city?
Yeah, sure.
No, I know there's Taco Bells everywhere, but
You can't
there
just get
are
a
so
chalupa
many
anywhere.
good restaurants. Why would we just go? Oh, let's go to Taco Bell.
Well, but there's a lot of good restaurants. There's no doubt about it. I'm not sure where exactly you live in the city, but there's great restaurants. But There's nothing that says that they're good for you.
But I mean,
Taco
you could
Bell's not good for
substantially
you.
up your game from the
sure,
dog. I mean,
sure.
Taco Bell or whatever.
That's delicious fucking dog food. I know it is not good for me. I feel like shit every time I eat it, but God
I guarantee
damn it,
you, if you
delicious.
brought in a pile of like a whole smorgasbord of Taco Bell, I said smorgasbord. I would not. I would be like, thanks, no thanks.
You would not touch it.
No.
Huh.
Because there's nothing on there that's going to make me feel
How
even
do you feel about
good.
Jack in the Box tacos?
No.
A little ranch.
No.
What fast food would you eat? Gun to your head. Only thing available. You're starving. What fast food? What would you choose? Chick-fil-A?
I've never had Chick-fil-A, and there's one like literally a block away from my house.
Really?
Pretty
It's
tasty.
pretty good stuff.
I've had Cane's.
Yeah, that's good chicken. Yeah.
I've had Cane's. I would have it again, I guess. I'm not, like, I'm not a super health nut. Like,
Right.
I'm within moderation.
About Long John Silver's.
No.
Oh, right.
They have
No.
one
Run
3
away.
blocks from their house.
Anybody that just sells like
Every time we
like
go
just
visit,
the
we're always like,
junk at the bottom of the fryer, like as a part of the
Can
menu.
I just get more crispy?
Yeah, here, let me scrape out the
what do they
bottom
call
of this
that?
shit box for you.
And they sell it as a thing.
I
Like,
know.
you
They
can get
charge you
an
money.
extra container
Fucking
of just
ridiculous.
like
fried
if we were in
pieces.
the Depression era, I'd be
Right.
like, you'd be like, oh.
when I
here's-
was a bank teller, we had one of our customers was Captain D's on I think it was on Grand or Gravois.
Not as good, but
there
also
is one on
right.
Grand.
But so Captain D's would daily they would bring their deposit. It was always after the bank was closed, and
Okay.
so it was there in the night drop. And the next morning, someone had to wrestle with the Captain D's deposit. So let me give you a pinch of picture here. Every night drop bag, if you've ever done a night drop, they all have a lock on them, and they're all like this like you can't cut it with a razor knife,
Right.
impenetrable bag. And ours were green, and they were embroidered with the bank's name, and then an account number. It had like I don't know if it had the full account number, but it had a number on it, so it identified it as yours. Every one of them was like a Kelly green with white writing. Captain D's deposit black.
Because it used to be green.
It used to be green, black. And it smelled like garbage, like a fucking garbage can. It was the worst. And it literally, I mean, so we didn't have rubber gloves. We should have had rubber gloves. Money is disgusting.
bank, yeah,
Money is
right.
fucking disgusting.
Right.
And whenever you're a
Wash
bank,
your hands, people.
absolutely.
Right.
When you're a bank teller, you have your drawer of money. Then you have a mutilated pile. The mutilated pile is like you whenever the Federal Reserve comes and gives you money, they'll take away the mutilated money and they'll destroy that money and they'll compensate you for it, right? So
I'm
it's
so fascinated by this
mutilated
whole-
money. So like if someone brings in a dollar bill that's been cut up and taped back together, that goes in the mutilated pile.
Okay.
So
and they replace that with a fresh,
Right.
shiny new bill.
right, and the Treasury.
What did they do with the old mutilated quarters?
They grind them up.
The ones that were all made out of silver.
Yeah, but coinage doesn't usually get mutilated. It's usually
Right.
the paper,
It's pretty
the currency
stout.
that gets fucked up, and they got to do something about it. But so there were so many times that you would count through this Captain D's deposit, and it was so fucking disgusting,
Sticky.
and sticky and smelled, and you just it's like, well, it's all fucking mutilated.
I used to deliver for Pizza Hut.
Oh, it was
like
horrible.
back in the day,
Yeah.
here in town actually. And my car smelled like it. I smelled like it.
Yeah.
Everything was greasy, and all I did was carry them to people's houses.
Right.
You want to hear a story? and we need to wrap it up.
Yeah, we do.
But so when I was dating my future wife, before I had ever met Dave,
way
here,
before I was dating my wife.
yeah.
I don't even think I met
He
her.
delivered a pizza to you?
No, but I
No.
ordered for Valentine's Day
Well, you had your mom order it, didn't you?
Well, I
You
ordered it, but I was out of
orchestrated it.
town. I was,
he was at U of I,
away
right?
at college, and I did have to have my mom or place the order, but I arranged for it. Okay,
Wait, you didn't have a phone at college?
Fuck you guys.
I still remember this whole
Yeah.
scenario from the other point of view.
Right, and I ordered for Valentine's Day a pepperoni pizza in the shape of a heart,
Oh,
covered in pepperoni. Like the whole thing was going to be
Right.
pepperoni, right? So red.
sure.
So I'm going to stop
sure.
you here. So so the manager comes back. It's it's in the afternoon. We're slow.
Some
Nothing going on.
motherfucker ordered a
No,
pizza.
she goes, can we make a heart-shaped pizza? And my friend, a good friend.
This was 25 years ago, probably.
His name's Jeff P. He goes, he's so cool. He just goes, oh, yeah, I got it. And so then everybody in the restaurant's like, well, we got to see this. Yeah. See what this dude's going to do. And he crafted the most beautiful, perfect, heart-shaped, thin crust pepperoni pizza you ever saw. Now, and delivered it just like, there you go. Yeah. That's how it's done.
Like you done it every day.
Like you did it every day.
This is a thing now. Like they advertise on TV. You go to Valentine's Pizza. But back 24 years ago, or whenever it was not a thing. And
Jeff P. should be getting royalties on this shit. I
just asked if they could do it. And so, sure enough, who delivered that pizza to my future wife? Dave.
And you had no
connection at all. He just worked at Pizza Hut. And then it was like 5 years later.
Fat Dave.
Yeah. Well, that's also
several years later, it came up, and Dave was like, I delivered that pizza. I remember that.
Because I recognized the house.
Yeah, right.
That's fucked up.
So anyway.
Yeah, no, I worked at a lot of restaurants, and I remember smelling like shit. I worked at a Mexican joint, I worked at Italian joints, and you smell like garbage. Yeah, and your car does. I mean, I didn't deliver anything, but just getting in my car, driving home every day. Your car stinks. Yeah. You stink. Your laundry stinks. Your bedroom stinks, and you have to constantly clean your shit.
That's
grease sticks to you. It's ridiculous. Anyway, but that's a great. That's a funny story.
Speaking of stinking, we've talked about tranny Brazilian waxes
about here. Yeah,
and Area 51.
I did not talk about that. I refuse to talk about
Area 51.
No, we didn't talk about Area 51.
No, we tried to, but then someone had to pee.
Topless parties.
I have opinions about Area 51.
If we did talk
peeing,
about
that. All kinds of stuff.
We didn't really talk about peeing.
Well, we talked about how I had to pee.
Well, yeah, true.
Anyway.
Wow.
So this was a doozy. It was supposed to be a short episode. It turned into a long one.
But it's still half loaded. We got some junk at the beginning here. We got to lop off here, but
we appreciate you listening, and we appreciate Dave coming into town from the big city.
Yeah. Oh, this part you don't video.
No, this isn't
like
on video.
Wave it at nobody.
No, the half loaded ones don't get video.
Thanks for having me. Maybe we can do it again.
You will definitely get invited back.
Yeah,
There's plenty more to talk about.
Way better than Rick.
I've got lots of stuff to talk about.
You hear that, Rick?
Sorry,
which one was Rick?
Last one.
Oh yeah. Okay. Why do I want to call him Mike?
I don't know.
That's why I never actually addressed him. I just addressed him as that guy you had.
No, I'm just joking. We appreciate Rick too.
He was good. In fact, I would. I mean, I know this is. It gets crowded in here, but I mean, I would entertain it if it would work out. It would be an interesting. We would, because we wouldn't agree on a lot.
Yeah,
but both of you are very good about having the discussion.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Set it up, boys.
Let's do this.
All right.
Well,
hold on. Well, we got to tell everybody how to find us if they're interested in giving us some feedback or whatever.
Let us know about how I screwed up the whole episode when I had to pee.
Is your bladder's not small though? You usually can go like a month without peeing. You're like
since
a camel.
Like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Do you drink water?
I do drink
a lot of water.
I drink enough water.
What's enough?
And beer.
Oh,
enough. Don't you worry about how much water I drink.
Yeah, he doesn't pee anywhere but home base. Like he doesn't use the facility.
I literally pee 3 times a day. When I wake up,
48
when I get home from
ounces,
work, and when I go to bed.
I drink 4 of those a day usually. 48 ounces 4 times. You do the math.
You know who inherited my big bladder?
190.
My daughter. She's a champ. She can go a long time without peeing. My son, on the other hand, has to pee every hour.
That's a lot of ounces. That's funny that it came out to such a clean number.
Yeah, it's give or take. Yeah,
give or take.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Hey, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Load This Podcast on YouTube. Get a load of this podcast and send us an email if you so choose. loadthispodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to be a guest, if you'd like to sit in the seat that Dave is sitting in right now, which is an illustrious position, let us know. Send us an email. Tell us what you'd like to talk about, and we'd be happy to have you on. If you can't make it to Silver Creek Studios, we can facilitate that. We can do Yelp. What's it called?
Skype.
I call Yelp.
We could maybe do
Yelp. I don't know. They have video capabilities. I mean, if you want fucking restaurant reviews, I need to go home.
Jesus. All right. As usual, I'm Jarod.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Dave.
And this is Half Loaded.
And he's only 3 years younger than us. And I don't see any gray hair in that beard.
That's because I pluck them.
Well, that's genetic.
I think he colors it.
No.
I think he just for men.
Just for men?
Yeah.
I don't. I do. If there's a rogue hair,
would you? Would you go? I mean, there's a point where there's too many rogue hairs. You're not plugged.
Well,
you don't have that kind of time.
No. Give up. I've given up.
I thought I was there. I was like, nope, I'm done. And then every once in a while, there'll be like an actual rogue one, like it's like hanging out. Weird.
Yeah, they're always
one of those. I'll like get rid of it. But if it's just integrated, I'm not going fishing for it.
I've never seen a gray hair in your fucking
There's
beard.
Probably some in there right now.
I think he's dying.
No. But I have said once I get just a little more, I'm just gonna let it go.
Let it. What do you mean let it go?
Like not pluck or anything.
Right.
What are you plucking? Just gray hairs?
Like if there's a gray hair sticking out of the side of my chin, I'll like pull that out.
So
I love the.
So speaking of hair, so this is definitely an outtake. Okay, so what do you think the average lifespan is of a male human American?
Like 80?
80?
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
And most puberty happens at about 13 years old?
Sure. 14,
14?
15.
Depends.
Okay,
yeah,
so you have 80 minus 14, let's call it. You have 66 years of post-pubescent life, meaning you have pubic hair and your body hair or whatever, right?
Yep.
So you have 66 years, and assuming that you shower every day, right? So you shower 365 days a year. That's 24,090 showers, right? And for every shower, if you spend 30 seconds... You spend 30 seconons.
Takes me way longer than 30
right, no.
You
spend 30 seconds just getting the errant pubic hairs off of the bar of soap. Okay? So now you spent 722,700 seconds, right? So let's divide that by 60. That's 12,000 minutes. And then you divide that by 60.
If you leave them in, it's like a self-soaping loofah.
Right. Now you're at 200 hours. 200.75 hours, you divide that by 24 hours in the day, and basically, over the course of your post-pubescent life, you are spending 8.36 days getting pubic hairs off of a bar of soap.
I use body wash.
How did this?
I did.
Right. So I told my wife this tonight at dinner, which is an interesting conversation. There should be cameras in my house, and I was telling her this.
There are.
Yeah, right. I was telling her this, and I said, "This is a complete commercial for a body wash and a loofah, because then I won't have to worry about any of this stuff." So I think I'm changing because I literally spend 30 seconds a day, like, oh God, I got to get that shit off of there, and it's challenging. It's 30 seconds every fucking day. And now 8.5 days of my life are, but if I stop now, I'm only at like 4.5 days.
You should invent something that removes that.
No, I should just use, I think it is. It's called body wash and a loofah.
Right. They have it, like, I'm not going to name where I get it, but it's like, it's not bullseye, but anyway.
I got you. Yeah.
I go to Target and I get this stuff and and it's like all in one. It's like for your hair and for your for everything. I'm like, why wouldn't I want that?
Is it Axe? Axe body
wash? It's not Axe, but it looks similar. I forget what it's called.
Okay.
I don't know. I just
we were on vacation. We were staying at someone's condo, and they had some toiletry stuff there. We didn't bring our own shampoo, and they had Axe body wash and shampoo all in one deal or whatever. And I used it was like a little sample bottle, and I used it, and I was like, Axe gets a bad rap. I mean, it definitely does have a pungent odor, but I liked it.
Yeah,
I was a fan.
Do you wear cologne?
Sometimes I do.
What? Really? What cologne? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make it sound like that.
No. So
God, he wears cologne.
Yeah.
No, I thought it's odd that you only sometimes. I mean, I pretty much if I shower, I'm
when it
putting
matters, right?
Yeah, no, I forget what it's called. Shit, it's she bought me like a sampler pack. It's no, it's like a guy's name.
Noir.
Drakkar Noir was the shit. No, I always
so
like.
when you were in high school, I don't mean to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but when you were in high school, you were either in my high school, which is in town here.
Was Drakkar Noir?
You were either a Polo guy or a Drakkar guy.
Right.
I was a Drakkar guy.
See, I was never either. I don't think maybe Polo. I was Polo for a while, but then it was like I was always like the outlier. Like my mom would always buy me something for Christmas, and she wouldn't buy me junk. She wouldn't buy me like Stetson or Old
grandparents
Spice.
buy Stetson.
Yeah, right. She wouldn't buy that. She would buy me like Hugo Boss, or she would something that was not modern mainstream like what everybody was wearing, but it still smelled.
You had
good.
to make an effort to get it.
Right. She would go and she would like oh this smells like Ryan. This is what he should be wearing. It's not too musky. It's more sweet smelling and it's more crisp or whatever.
Heinz a sweet boy. He should wear sweet cologne.
My baby belongs. Yeah. So, but I forget what it is now. It's a guy's name, and my wife bought me the sample pack. So like
Charlie. That's not dude's cologne.
No, it's like it's not John Sebastian. He's saying "Welcome Back, Kotter."
The guy from the Love and Spoonful did? John Sebastian?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You did not know that?
I didn't know he sang that.
Yeah.
I know the Love and Spoonful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. John Sebastian is a great
He's an amazing
musical
musician.
artist. Yeah.
Amazing songwriter.
Yeah. He's really good.
How dare you, sir?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just sang the song.
You have plenty of music critique when you want it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so for whatever the hell the name of it is, I can't remember it, but that's what I wear now, but I don't wear it very often, and mainly because when my wife bought it, and they're these little bottles, and they're like, they're the kind that you have to like, you dump a little out, and it's not a spray.
Spritz.
What I had before this was, I forget the brand of it, but it was a spray, and I liked it. Maybe it was Cool Water, which I've liked since the 90s.
And how much are you putting on? Like when you do it? Just
when I was in college, it was now it's one, but I don't have spray. Now it's like it's a dab on a finger, and then on the neck or whatever.
Also depends on the cologne. Like the better stuff is is stronger. Yeah, if you're getting off-brand stuff at Walmart, then you got to spray like 4 or 5 sprays.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people are anti-cologne.
I'm kind of anti-cologne. It bothers me. That's why. If I'm, especially like in an elevator or something, I'm
perfumes? Do women's perfume as well?
If they're pretty much beyond noticeable, Like I don't want to smell that. I don't want to smell anything.
There's some folks that it's like whoa, ease up.
I want to smell that you washed your hands. That's what I want to smell.
Right. Well, how about that? Do you go? Where do you get your hair cut?
Oh no. All right, so here's the deal with the haircut.
No.
First of all,
hold on. Can we kick this off and open up?
We probably should.
Let's just have a random Dave conversation here. We're talking about a lot of things.
I go to Great Clips, all right, because it's close to the house. I can get right on. Right, but here's the deal. Like I'm missing a lot of hair, right? So there's no need to invest in this. It's just like mowing the lawn. Like I would hire people to mow the lawn because I hate to mow the lawn, but my yard takes like 20 minutes.
Right,
even
may
with
as well just knock it out.
I just do it, and it gives me something to complain about. But my wife is like, you should go to a real barber and you will like it. And then I'm kind of like, well, yeah, maybe I will. But then I just don't want to take the time to do it. Yeah. So I go to Great Clips.
Okay. Ryan's a haircut guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I
think I heard an episode where you went to like an actual like handlebar mustachy barber.
Yeah,
kind of guy.
yeah. Well, I've been to a few. I'm still on the infinite search for the right barber shop, and then they're a dying breed. They really are.
If you find one that you like, I assume you're talking St. Louis area.
Yeah.
Let me know and I'll try it.
Yeah, I will.
I would definitely try it under somebody's recommendation, but I just don't want to go start trying barbershops.
Yeah. So there's a fine line. So there's a lot. So my niece, her boyfriend, he goes to a stylist, right? He's a barber. I think she is a barber. She's a trained barber, meaning she can use a straight razor to shave your neck, and she can do all the things that a barber can do, which takes a license to do that. But they charge a lot of money. It's like
what's a lot?
$60 for a haircut.
Yeah, I'm not doing
right. And that's so. And then there's barbers who Kingston on Telegraph Road. So if you go north on Telegraph from 255, there's a barbershop there. I think is it called Kingston? I forget what it's called, but it doesn't matter. They charge like $15,
right?
And
so does
your
niece
barbers
know her boyfriend's gay?
What?
I gotta tell them listen to this one because they do listen, and I've given them shit about that too. I'm like, so. Yeah, what are you doing now? So he got his nose waxed.
Okay.
One time.
Now I repeat the question.
Like the inside of it?
Yeah. I did it one time too. After he did it,
I can appreciate that. I do plenty of trimming.
Yeah, do
you have a man groomer?
Do I have a man groomer?
Like it's a product.
No, I
you
guess
don't
I
have
don't.
one. If you
don't know what it is, then you don't have it.
It's for body hair. Like,
okay.
I don't have the brand name one.
Like
but
I think
have
I'm
a razor
gonna get
that's
one.
specifically intended for grooming other parts of my body other than my face. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But does it have like the hand?
Yeah.
Like that's part.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But
And
it's not the man groomer. It's like a
No,
Norelco
it's
or
a
Phillips or
yeah,
something.
it's Phillips, I think, is actually the brand of it. But the reason why I bought my Phillips man groomer, off-brand or whatever, is because I have back hair. I have my wings, if you will. And I don't have a full, back of hair.
Dude, I'm like
Williams.
a full-fledged hobbit.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And it's
that
challenging.
shit's on my toes.
Real
it's
challenges,
everywhere.
right? So I like to watch TV laying on my stomach in my bed.
What?
I like my TV's at the foot of my bed. Yeah, like a little child. Hey, fuck you and your hot chocolate. We all got our little childish things. But
it's true.
So I lay on my stomach and I lay with my head at the foot of my bed, my feet at the head of my bed. My poor wife.
I just picture like this.
So and I have the ceiling fan on because I'm a fat fuck and I like to be cool. So I got the ceiling fan on and it's blowing down on me,
your back
and
hair.
it blows the back hair and it tickles my back. So that is the entire reason why I went out and bought a Phillips
Good call.
back shaver.
That is a good reason.
Yeah. I mean, this is a real problem I had. I was like, all right, my back tickles.
It's turning into a meadow of wheat on your.
There's no shame in that. I mean,
No,
it's just the visual is very.
I paint a picture.
Vivid. Yeah.
Tickles my back hair.
Yeah.
I just see like flowing.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like waves
the
of grain.
sun setting.
Let's
Sort
start
of
this
like a
thing.
Chris Farley, like.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
You're not recording
We
anymore?
are recording, but we
just
haven't
actually,
started. That was all.
started.
Oh, who cares? Just talk.
Hey, we got to start it.
brother.
Yeah, I know. Right? Welcome to my world, Dave. I mean, everything's got to be so
Why
formal.
does it got to be so formal?
Because it is formal.
Why do you got to?
It's a
No,
podcast.
it's not.
We're not
It's in your
fucking around
head.
here.
Oh, brother.
All right, 3,